fake shit. Y'all better off realizing there's nothing that y'all can do with me. All I ever ask is keep it 32 with me one.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the 8 Morning 92 podcast, where we always keep it 100. We're your hosts, Harrison.
Banks.
All right, so we're glad to have y'all back. Glad to be back recording with the OGs right here on another good episode. Before we get started, we want to make sure we shout out our sponsors, Bamboo Rum, for sponsoring another episode of the 8 Morning 92 podcast. It's a flagship bamboo rum based on the original recipe created by the 16th and 17th century sailors of the West Indies, who blended native Caribbean ingredients into the rum and called it bamboo. Truly the original craft spirit. Using small, all-natural native spices and no artificial colors or flavors, their rum is authentic and rivals of the pieces of Caribbean history. Distilled in small batches and blended by hand. And they're pretty sure they got a great grandfather that'll be proud of all these products, and we can greatly say that we love it. The vanilla extract and all the flavors make it good. I always make sure I get a sip. Always gets me in my mood. So shout out to Bamboo Rum. And we also want to take a shout out, but make sure everybody goes ahead and follow our YouTube page as well as our IG page, because we are doing audio and video podcasts of the 8 More Than 92 podcast. So make sure you go to our YouTube page at 8 More Than 92 podcast. And if you got any questions, submissions, anything you want us to talk about, hit us up at the 8 More Than 92 podcast at gmail.com. And let's get ready for the show, man. Go ahead and kick it off, Banks.
How you been?
I've been pretty good, man. You know, glad to be alive. Finally part of the Dirty 30 Club. 30 for 30 in my eyes.
Yeah, talk about that. What'd you do?
Well, so if anybody don't know, my birthday was March the 8th. Depending on when you hear this, it was this past Sunday. If you're hearing it like a week after we put it out or something like that, or watching on there, then it's Sunday. It was Sunday, March the 8th. Basically, it was a real good birthday. Woke up, came through, got breakfast. Danny surprised me by having my mom and my brothers and sisters were supposed to come down, but they couldn't get through. My dad and my older sister and stuff were supposed to come down, but they couldn't get through for the flight to come down just for some other reasons. But my mom and my little brother came down. We went to Cooper Hawks, which is like a wine type restaurant, but it was really good. Then got a cake. Got the shirts, the official 8 More Than 92 podcast. If y'all looking at it on visual, you can see we finally got our shirts up right there. So just stay tuned. And if you guys want a shirt, hit us up in the DMs on IG or email us and let us know your size. And as soon as we get in the ordering phase, we will hit y'all up with prices and how to get in touch with you on shirts. We got that, and got a new microphone set, got some stuff just to kind of keep the business and everything rolling. But it was really great. It was good vibes. My little brother finally came down. Shout out to Noah and Nate at the The Distractions podcast. He came down and surprised me for that, so it was real. I didn't know anybody was coming, so it was real dope. I woke up, can't remember what I did that morning. I think it was like the first time I've been like uber busy at work, so it was like the first time that I had like a little relaxation period, and I was kind of there. So I was talking to my mom, and she was being real dry, and that's usually not like her. If you know my mom, she's real extra, and she likes to be theatrical. So she was coming through, and like she called me, and she usually does the same spiel all the time. Oh, it's my baby. I remember when you were first born at 5 p.m. And I said, who has a baby at 5 p.m.? And I just knew I had this handsome little boy. But she wasn't doing none of that, so I was like, something was weird. And it was kind of funny, because I was about to hop in the shower, but she just snuck her way in. So when you're at your house, you just walk around with your clothes off. So I took my clothes off, and I was asking Danielle for something, and she had just was about to walk in, so she was about to catch 30 dick. So because I was walking around there, peeked out. So thankfully that was an instance there, but she came through and surprised me because she was hiding in the house, lets me know she was there. Then, like I said, my brother popped up, and it was just good vibes. Because this weekend I'm supposed to go to Houston, so that's kind of like part two. This maybe the first time I ever done like I guess a multiple birthday thing. I just thought with 30, I ain't gonna put this much effort in the other ones sometime soon. So I thought it'd be pretty good to go there. So I thought for this to be planned by Danny went real well. Everything that came from there, so I was just very excited for the shirts, the mics, and everything like that. My mom and everybody coming down the cake, and I was just greatly blessed. And for all the people that send me well wishes and all that, I appreciate y'all. Y'all making the 30 for 30 like documentary going by very smooth, man. So I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. What about you? Take a shot of bamboo,
right?
For the sponsor.
Let's hope it ends up being real one day.
Yeah, let's not put it out there. Come on, now, what is real sponsors? By the cocoa berries.
So Sonya and I, we went to a wedding expo, I think is what it is. They had one at Belk, and we went to it. I didn't really know what to expect. I don't really know a lot about weddings. So I was like, all right, yeah, let's go. So they had all these vendors for the different parts of the wedding. So the DJ and the lighting and food and, catering. And I mean, that's the same thing. Food and what else they have? They had basically all the parts you need to a wedding. And so we went, and it was interesting. I listened to everybody, and I don't know, maybe it's just where I'm at in my life, but every person that I talked to, let me start off by saying that there were, out of, I'll just say maybe 15 to 20 booths, there was only 3, quote, I guess, black owned people who got invited anyway, or even knew about coming to this expo. So that kind of sat with me weird. And just everybody that I walked up to, I was just like, I wonder if there's a black version of you. We walked up to a DJ, and I was just like, but see, that's the difference. Like with their DJ, he didn't just DJ, right? Like he DJ'd, did lighting, did photo booths, and had like different types of photo booths. Yeah. I was like, dang. I was like, where did you get this stuff from? Like, and that's how I kind of been thinking lately. So even with the event center people, that we spoke to, I just was like, man, we could just save up our money and buy one and throw all of our stuff at our spot. But we ran into some good venues, some good some outdoor venues. Of course, we're still looking around in the area around Huntsville. There's some really nice areas around here. We got like a little train depot downtown that's nice. We got some new places opening up. So we're still looking. We definitely need to pick something quick, is what everybody kept telling us, because our wedding is set. I don't want to say tentatively, but it's definitely set for September 5th. And so everybody's like, well, there's only 4 Septembers in a month. I mean, there's only 4 weekends in a month, so you guys need to hurry up. But it was good overall, just because for me anyway, I got to see like, okay, these are all the components of a wedding, stuff that you don't even think about going on behind the scenes, while everything's happening. But it was informational for sure. A lot of stuff, I don't know what a price point is, and so I was just like, oh, okay. Like this one guy, he had brochures for, he was a black guy. He had brochures for his, and he one of these type, right? He was like, welcome.
Mm-hmm. Your video and everything still good?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah. He was like, I do photography and videography, but not a lot of people do cinematography. And now I'm going to tell you the difference about... I'm gonna tell you the difference behind cinematography and videography, and we just kind of sat there. So fast forward through his whole spiel, he giving us all these pamphlets, and I'm like, even though I don't know anything, one of his price points was $5,000. So yeah, there was a price point on there for $5,000. I thought that was kind of outrageous. Of course, it come with the whole package, quote unquote, aerial shots, cinematography experience, closed credits, opening credits, You know, it's like one of them people back in the day. You know, it was a movie, bro. Like it was one of them packages that he had lined up for me.
Spielberg on that motherfucker. Man.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it was a lot of information. We still trying to look though. We still trying to secure some spots. Hopefully, stuff will be taken care of in the next week or two. I still got to talk to my pastor and see what his availability looks like during that month. But I mean, it's a little nerve wracking, but it's pretty exciting. Like I already know what the color is gonna be. Of course, I know what I'm wearing. I know what y'all gonna be wearing. I just need to know what everybody's measurements are and what you think your measurements gonna be in September, because you know you might change a little bit, might lose some pounds, gain some muscle. So
some wish me measurements. some make a wish. Make a wish.
Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much my weekend so far.
Y'all got like a budget?
Do we have a budget? We ain't really sat down and talked about a budget. I guess because we don't know what nothing's worth. Because you know, you go to these white, you know, outlets and it's like $1,000 for, and I don't know, but you know, one of the guys, he was charging $1,000.
Well, I mean, for like the total wedding, what you trying to keep it under?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I don't want to say nothing dumb. So it's definitely not gonna be like some $10,000 type stuff. No,
yeah,
it ain't gonna be that. Everybody do is public knowledge, but and yeah, what we get paid too.
True.
But yeah, so it's I can look that up for real.
Yeah, you can look up ours. It's kind of sad, but I mean, it's, the base of it's pretty. Base of it's pretty. Like standard, but incentives and stuff like that make a little more what they put on there, but it's in the range of what ideally I make.
Oh, okay. What I go to? Just Army or Navy?
Military pay scale.
Military pay scale, and I just hop on there. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know, now at the time, but yeah, that's what you do, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. So, congrats to that, man. Can't wait to go. You know, I use any reason to put on a suit. You know, weddings, funerals, Easter. You know, I ain't going to church with the suit on Easter and all that type of stuff. I will be having a suit on deck. All right, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna order everybody's suits at some point.
So that's great, man. Looking forward, like I said, to it. Can't wait for it, man. But let's jump into this stuff, man. So we are currently at a state of emergency in the world, this coronavirus. And it's just funny that it's Ebola's little cousin. It's got the world freaked out about everything like that. But everything is going to state of emergency. And is I wonder if it's the craze of it is just because of the times we live in with the access of technology and media outlets that's just making it kind of go crazy, more of a buzz. But Corona is taking over, and that whole is here to stay. Or at least it ain't playing with y'all out here. So I don't know what you heard about it out on your way.
Well, not much right now. You know, we are surrounded by. I was about to call it Ebola. Surrounded with Corona issues in Tennessee and in Florida. So, I mean, I don't know. They call themselves trying to take some precautions out here, but I don't really know what they're doing. But, yeah, I mean, the kids, of course, it's just the talk of everything. So all the kids, they say everybody got Corona. Nervous. No, they don't care. They, they like, oh, you got Corona now. And they talked about it so much that they talked themselves into extra assignments and projects because the teachers got so tired of hearing about it. So they turned their lessons into Corona lessons, and so now the kids got extra projects to do because they couldn't stop talking about Corona. They did like a presentation in one of my geography classes that I'm in today about the coronavirus, and that's where I was telling some of the kids, like, for one of your facts, black people, we don't get that, and they looked at me crazy. One boy wrote it. So I'll be happy to hear what his teacher got to say about that because I'll back him up 100%.
Mr. Banks been sipping on that shit that y'all want to know. But yeah, it's just I ain't gonna say it's funny. It's a state of emergency. I was watching, I think his name Dr. Dave, and he kind of confirmed what I probably already thought. I work in the medical field, so I'm like a medic in my job. So I we work around where people gonna panic and stuff like that. So, you know, once it started to hit maybe a couple weeks ago, at least I was doing my information on it. I know like the basis of it. Right now, just let everybody know, more people are dying and have died of the flu than are corona. I want to say it's maybe 9 cases, or maybe, I want to say right now, when I looked it was 9, I think it might be at 21, but that also could be like the Nashville tornado people. But that happened then, and it's like close to 1 million. It's a lot of people that died or contracted the flu, so you're going to see more people with the flu than you are going to see with the coronavirus right now. But it's just kind of like at that phase. It's something new. It's a new hot trendy thing, and right now you just need to go about the way of educating people. You don't have to
just wash your hands.
Yeah, it's just about being clean. It's the same common factors of that you would do to avoid any type of illness. You want to wash your hands and stuff like that. But everything's coming to a state of emergency. Harvard said they ain't letting y'all niggas back on campus. We moving all y'all to online classes. The NBA about to just be playing open court in the arena pickup games. Italy is banning international travel. Seen out there.
You shut the whole country down.
Italy because of the exactly. If you live in Italy right now, what they're doing it, they say you don't have to pay your rent and stuff like that because of Corona. So
Which I don't understand that. I don't understand how that works.
I guess because you can't go to work. New York is in a state of emergency right now. Everybody's being urged to work at home. Washington State is being in a state of emergency right now. Everybody's urged to work at home.
The state of Washington?
The state of Washington.
Oh, okay. I looked at the map. They wouldn't highlight it as a corona.
Well, I saw it online, and then I know somebody that's stationed out there, and they told me they were.
Okay.
At least the civilian sector out there, the military populace is, y'all asses is under contract, and we give y'all enough shots so y'all don't have to do it. But it's just funny seeing everybody with their hands up. The memes, I'm here for it. I love it. The corona memes and stuff like that, where it's 9 people out here get corona, and now y'all want to walk in quarantine suits, but people still out here having sex with people with AIDS with no condoms and stuff like that. Just like the general gist of it. I probably messed it up, but it's funny in my head. But it's just one of those you had to be there. Yeah, you got to be there to hear about it. But it's just kind of crazy right now. Like, it's the Popeye's chicken of diseases right now.
Yeah, I saw some posts. It was like, because of the cruise lines are really taking a hit. And it was like,
I can't remember, one just came in from a port. They had to like come in earlier, like emergency, go somewhere because 2 people contracted it.
Yeah, and I guess their price is low right now. So somebody was like, if you want to take a trip, what is it? Code Corona, and that'll get you like 50% off or something like that.
The funniest thing I saw, this is about to be the 8 More Than 92 podcast financial session, was how much Corona the beer took a hit from it. And I don't know.
I didn't even know the beer.
Corona.
I didn't think about the beer.
Took a big sale because it was one meme where it was just like coronaviruses, and they got all the drinks and stuff in your refrigerator, all to one side with mask on, and Corona to the other side. That one. But yeah, it's just like I said, people just kind of take a look at what you're doing. Make sure you're just being cautious and
a functioning
it's just
adult.
Daily hygiene. It's just daily hygiene. White people, stop letting your kids lick metal bars. Put on shoes during the winter time. Don't keep walking around flip flops and shorts. Black people, stop doing these long ass handshakes and stuff like that. Adrian Bayline, wash your hands when you use the bathroom. All y'all wash your hands when you use the bathroom. It's just simple. Because I saw a video where she said she didn't wash her hands when she comes out the bathroom. So that's kind of gross. But you know, all y'all people that's not taking showers every day, now is the time to get into the habit. It's not as serious as people are making it, but because there are people that have died from it, but most of them are elderly. Black people can't catch it too. So before niggas is out here acting like they got the heart-shaped herb of
whatever, man.
Out here from Black
it's the
Panther,
melanin.
you know.
The melanin in our skin.
Exactly.
Man.
Okay, well,
give us superpowers.
At your funeral. He thought he had the melanin, but I guess he guess he didn't have enough.
I'm gonna have to introduce you to the
but-
book about our melanin, man.
No,
How
okay,
powerful
I'm gonna
it is.
Introduce you to a book, all right, and you can find it at platform 9 3/4. It's called Harry Potter with the Wizard Tree, my nigga. But
Okay,
I
you
wanna-
tried to.
Try to sneak it in there, exactly, boy. Geek talk. But I want to just take this time to let everybody know the positive from this is, outside of health awareness, is a lot of stocks are taking crashes right now. And if anybody does do their stocks or are into stocks like myself and Banks are, now is a good chance to really look into some stocks and probably buy some right now, because a lot of companies are going down real quick. So I know, Banks, you showed me the ones that are going down. As far as I saw, I can't remember what, I think you said Joseph Morris or something like that.
Okay, so all of the stocks are really taking a hit. Let's start there.
Yes, all is a perfect time to learn.
So, right, it's a perfect time to learn and get in while stuff is like, so like I have shares of Disney, Apple, Microsoft, Ralph Lauren, IBM, Johnson & Johnson, and a couple REITs, and a medical one called AbbVie. All right.
Yeah.
So the Disney stock has plummeted. And so I've lost almost $160 behind Disney, but I mean, I'm cool because I'm cool or I'm not cool. I'm not cool because I'm really in kind of a bind. I mean, it ain't even that though, because that's going to happen. Like, ups and downs are going to happen. I'm so okay with that. And I believe in Disney, so I don't really feel no way about it. I could see if it was something else so yeah, I really believe in Disney, so that's why I'm really not upset about it or whatever. But but the bad part, I guess, is what I was getting to, is that I don't really have any money right now to put into it because of the wedding and because of different things. I'm trying to pay down debt, so I can't even really like invest like I want to. But now, if it gets to a low enough point, I might have to rearrange some things.
So what's the buy-in for Disney? I don't mean to cut you off. What's the buy-in?
Buying for Disney right now is $109.75.
I might hop on that myself right now. Because it had to be
and
200.
Or Apple's gone down. No, Disney at its highest was like at 160 or something like that.
Okay.
Let me see. No. Let's see. At their highest, at their 52-week high, 153.
Mm-hmm.
So I had it at that point. But yeah, so on my watch list, of course, I got Netflix. Let me change. Let me do my percentage change. So I got Netflix. I sold all my Nike stock just because
I'm keeping mine.
I'm more of a dividend person.
Nike got dividends.
And
I'm thinking of.
They do, but it's not a lot.
Right?
It's not a lot for me. I think so. Total return. Let me do that. It's not a lot for me. And so when I sold Nike, I sold it at $100 a stock. Mm-hmm. Right now it's at $86. Of course, I follow everything that I use or that I'm into or that I've done a little research about. So I got Verizon. Walmart has actually, from me watching it, has actually been the most stable thing.
I'm not surprised because it's not
even throughout the virus.
Any type of major markets, like trade markets and stuff like that, that's always going to keep people in it, especially at a time now with coronavirus and stuff like that being a thing. It's going to be something that it's going to get more money because people are going to go in there and try to stock up and stuff like that. If you check Target, I think Target will be the same. And if you check...
so let's see. I got Target on here. So Target, unfortunately, has actually taken a hit. So in the past month, Target has lost $7. And in the past 3 months, I mean, it was already kind of trending down because 3 months ago, it's gone down $18. But I mean, overall, over the year, but yeah, Walmart over the last month has actually gone up 2.68%. And over the last 3 months has been kind of whatever. But yeah, Walmart has been the most consistent stock that I have on my watch list. And there's JP Morgan. They do really good dividends. I think it's almost $1, if I'm not mistaken.
Now, before we get like too like into what we know, for the people who don't do stocks, stocks is something that you want to make sure that you know that this is a long game purchase. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to, this ain't Bitcoin or anything like that where you're going to get anything. So what you want to do is you want to learn the basics. That's where Stash comes in. You get a little better. You get a little Acorn and Robin and all that type of stuff. But what you want to do is, if you're going to start any type of stash, you know what I'm saying, learn what risky stashes are. Learn what risky stocks are. Learn what corporate funds and things like that, because those will take you from putting money into big stocks, and those will put you in big stocks. And I mean like having Google, Apple, and all them in one, or you can do it individually. Now, what Banks is talking about is you want to look for dividends on any stock that you get. Now you have Disney, and I don't have it pulled up right now, but if you could pull up Apple and tell me. Now, Apple is 200, to give y'all like a small example of what we talking about. Now, when you get any type of stock, you want to make sure the dividend of the stock is going to be beneficial. And dividend just means that's when you get money back from the stock. Now, I have mine in a couple marijuana fund stocks. I also have mine in Apple. I have mine in Nike. I had mine in Lyft. I think I sold it. I have mine in Netflix, Google, all that in a joint fund where it's like a big hedge fund where a little bit of everybody's shares comes to me. And that's what I said, like a moderate mix of things. And I have one in American Innovators, and that's anybody from American companies that produce, and I'll get a dividend from it. Now, dividend lets you know that like once that stock hits, you make money from the stock. Now, I have certain marijuana funds that I used to have that didn't make any money off of it. So I'm just putting stocks into it, but it's not bringing me any return value. And the only way to make yourself be able to get stocks is get dividends from it. And the dividends is just basically, if I pay for something with a 20 and it only costs $18, I'm getting change back. So I keep that $2 change, or what you want to do with that $2 change is you want to put it back into that stock or keep saving it so you can put it back in more stock. So that's when you let your stocks make money for you. So now I have Nike, and I have Nike stock, and my Nike stock just gave me $18. I'm sorry, my Nike stock I just paid for was $18, paid out for that. I have $2 for it. Now, I said that wrong, people. Now, my Nike stock is at 18, right? For what? That's how much I put into it. Now, the stock just raised up $2. Now, you add my $18 to it, that puts me at 20, and I get $2 change from it. Now I'm making money because I only put $18 into the stock, but now Nike is worth $20. So now, not only is it raising the stock value up for it, I'm making money off of it. So now the stock is worth more if I was to sell it. So now I would make a $2 profit off of it if I sold my $20 stock, because I only put $18 in it. And so that's basically what stocks are. They're going to rise and go. And how much money you put into it, say you put in $100 now for Netflix, and at the end of the month or end of the year, Netflix is worth $150 a stock. Well, now you're going to make that $50 in as dividend, and it's going to add to what you have for the stock, but you've only put $100 in. So your money's growing with it, and the dividend is the change from it. So that means while it's making money, you're getting a percentile of it, and you're getting a percentile of it, and you're able to take that money and add back into that same stock, or you're able to take that and add to other stocks. And that way, not only does it help you for people that, like I said, stocks is very expensive. You got to play the long game in it. People that have like a good job, they want to say add maybe, my dad used to add 10%, but my dad was making $4,000 a check. But I want to say maybe 1 to 2%, start off small, get in small type of stocks, and maybe $5, $10 buy-ins. Nothing crazy before you can learn it. And I had a brain fart for a second, I forgot what I was saying. But like I said, you have it like that, and your money starts to grow with you. So now you're able to add to the stocks without continuing to add on money. And when you do get your money and able to get a whole stock, like Apple is $200, right?
$280.
$280. Now, if Apple grows, the money that you put into it, they'll continue to grow and add for it as well. So when Apple grows and the dividends start coming into you, not only do you get the change back, when Apple grows, your money that goes into it grows, but it doesn't change for how much you put into it. So when Apple starts to grow, I put in $100, but now the stock I got for it now is worth $110, even though I only put $110 more. So now when it grows and the money that you put in starts to add interest to it, you're closer to another stock without having to put in necessarily $100 into it, because the interest from what you originally put in is starting to grow. And not only is it starting to grow, you're starting to get change back for it, so where you can add to it. So now it costs $100 to get into another stock for it. But because the interest raised from it and the dividends came back to you, you only really had to put in maybe $70 a year money. So that way the dividends and the interest of it raise it to where you're putting in less money to get a stock, but you're getting more money in return. And it's not something that you want to sell quick. So go ahead, Banks. Did I do a good job of explaining that for newbies? You weren't listening. But so yeah, so if you have any questions, like I said, just hit us up. We don't mind.
Or if you have any questions, Jesse, you can hit one of us up.
Yeah, either hit us up in the 8 More Than 92 podcast. There will be a podcast member in there. Or you could go to Stash. I feel like Stash is the easiest way to help people who are new within getting into stocks and how to place your money in the right way to where you can gradually learn about it and get accustomed to it. So go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Yeah, Stash is a good starting spot. It's definitely more like on the mutual fund where you got a ton of stocks in one and you buy into that. But I think recently they just went into being able to purchase entire stocks. I think even too, you were able to only purchase partial amounts of stock. But yeah, so now you can purchase the whole stock, which is good.
Great.
I use Robinhood. I use Robinhood personally because I would just rather deal with stocks as wholes instead of parts. Not that there's anything bad. It's just anything bad about that. It's just a preference that I have.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to know anything, like he said, you could do Stash, you could do Robinhood. There even Acorn. Or no, I think that's just for change, right? Or is that for stocks? I can't remember if that's just
Acorn,
like a change or money app.
I think it's like a change thing. Yeah.
Okay, it's like a money management app. But you can also subscribe to the Motley Fool. They're a good podcast I listen to. They have a website. I mean, there are so many stock websites out there.
Yeah, don't wait till like you think I'm settled into a career to invest in the stocks. Like do it.
Yeah, you could definitely start contributing to things now. Even on Robinhood, recently they've started to do partial stocks. So if you can't afford $280 a share for Apple, you can buy a part of it.
Exactly.
And
as long as you got
benefits that way.
All you gotta do is just get in the ground floor and then you're
and right now, a lot of stuff is on sale. A lot of stuff is definitely on sale. I was just talking to my friend who James knows as well, Torn. We were talking about it earlier. I was just like, man, this is crazy how much stuff is on sale right now. And it's we feel almost kind of bad talking about it like that, but not really. But yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff right now is up for grabs, and it's at a pretty good price. But yeah, I would use Yahoo stocks. Like, I mean, whatever you could get your hands on, whatever information, please educate yourself first. Because I did find out at the beginning, I mean, I was educating myself and investing, I guess, at the same time. And I was listening to the podcast, The Motley Fool, and there was a guy one of the guys on there, he did an episode by himself. Mm-hmm. And I think he basically was just like, he did it by himself where he had somebody on there with him. But anyway, he was just basically like, the one thing that he would tell anybody starting out is that if you're looking for the long game, now, of course, you can play the short game and you could be on here all the time trading and things like that. Like, that's a possibility too. But if you want to play the long game, basically put your money in things that you believe in and that you, of course, still do research, but put your money in things that you believe in that that will allow you to sleep at night. And that was a very profound thing that he shared, because I remember at the time I had my money in this one stock. And I mean, I knew a little bit about it, but there was still a lot to be explored. And then I would just find myself waking up. Of course, the stocks only trade between certain hours, but I'd be like, I'd wake up and I'd immediately check it. And if it went down, I felt the way, and I was just like, I just don't like this.
Yeah.
And so I ended up selling it and purchased other things that I felt like were going to be here for a while. And, And I mean, I check it, probably I went from checking it, I mean, I couldn't tell you, probably 10 times a day to I really only look at my portfolio maybe once a day, once every couple of days. That's just because of how much faith I have in all the things that I have, I have in there now. So it's, yeah, I'd say it's definitely fun. It's interesting. But yeah, that's the stock tip. Go research and learn about S1s and all that other stuff.
Yeah, so let's thank the coronavirus for taking this time out for us to learn how to better ourselves for finance, especially Black men. We don't always get a chance to learn young. We can learn when it's too late, and by then we could have been 10,000 times or 100,000 times more knowledgeable financially than we are today. So make sure you can look into that. So I don't know, shift it to music. We're gonna start with the good and bad. I want to thank. Well, actually, we could pause it.
All right.
Good and the bad. But before we go ahead and do the music section of it, I want to make sure you guys know that you guys need to check out and subscribe to this new YouTube page from a friend of mine, Pierre. Got a new YouTube page and pulling it up right now so I don't mess up the name for it. It's called the Conflicted series. And come on now, people. Sorry, y'all. I want to make sure I get the verbiage right. We like keep it 100. Keep it over here. So we got this, basically the Conflicted web series. It's about two best friends in the entertainment industry and ambitious women who voyage into experiences filled with love and lust. It's coming soon with episodes right now, and make sure you follow them on YouTube at K and P ENT. That's K and P ENT, and it's the Conflicted. It's the Conflicted web series. Make sure you follow their IG page. It's Conflicted_web series. And let's get back to the show. As I was saying, to the music topic. Again, shout out to my boy Pierre. But to the music topic, we got the good. We're gonna start off with the good. Aubrey finally dropped some fire that required no singing. He dropped "When to Say When" over a lovely, very classic Jay-Z beat, which is actually one of my favorite songs of him. I don't have that many favorite songs by Jay-Z, but he did it to Song Cry, and he dropped Chicago Freestyle. Both rap songs that he rapped on both beats, and it's just Drake is back, man. So you know when this happens, this same what happened with God's Plan and Nice for What. Like some fire's coming through. He's heard the noise, and Drizzy is coming. You know what I'm saying? How you feel about the song?
Oh, I haven't heard either one of them yet because they're not on Apple Music yet.
Okay, well, for everybody they're on SoundCloud right now, and you can go to YouTube and get them. That makes it easier to transition to the bad because you haven't heard it. But it's just, I just say this quick spiel. Drake is back. Bars on top of bars, on top of great inspiring beats, just where he gets to just show his versatility, show his wordplay, and show why he is very much the throne on any type of thing. So make sure y'all get that out. I was gonna do a video review on the webpage for it, but I might still do it since you didn't hear it. I wanted to see if you heard it to get a take from the boys, but I'm gonna go ahead and still review that thing for y'all guys. But the bad, DaBaby done got himself into more of a pickle. Everybody knows DaBaby is hot right now for just basically putting out hot music, but recently he's been under fire for just a couple things, just baby mama drama, getting into it with his baby moms. About basically getting somebody else pregnant, certain things like that. A couple altercations where he's gotten physical. Fans are trying DaBaby at an all-time high. In this most recent one, he hit a female, which he apologized for. But the female was recording him with the light on as he was walking through stuff and walking through the crowd, and she put the light on him, blinding his vision. I'm not excusing anything, but and then she went ahead to hit him in the head with the phone. And at that point, when he got hit in the head, nothing strong, but like a tap, like a push in the face, he knocked the fuck out of her. So I know you heard about this one, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead.
I saw it, then I went and saw the video, and it looked like she sort of popped him in the nose. And then I guess he just reacted. But I'm like, man, y'all, these violent reactions you continue to have with people.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
starting
don't
to
know.
add
This
up.
is
It's
the
not
best
looking
look.
good.
Not at all.
Yeah, I looked at it as like you're gonna start losing the benefit of the doubt from people because it's always an incident with you. Now, a couple of them you had, like remember now, some of it has to do with the mantra who you are, and I think this is just where you got to step back and get somebody to kind of calm you down. Like you survived a lot. I think the first time I heard about you was when you was in Atlanta and some people walked up talking about you had to get a G pass. You said I ain't doing all that. From there, somebody tried to kill you in Walmart. You beat that case, and then somebody tried to run up on you in a Gucci store. Then somebody tried to what did they do? They tried to run at you while you was performing in concert. You had to hit them. So a lot of instances, people are trying you. It comes with the nature, because you are not acting like you're untouchable, but you run into a lot of instances where you get the better of people. And so now I can see kind of where you paranoid, and now you got the down spiral of it. You are getting into it with valet people, and I agree. The reason for the valet was because if I'm here with my daughter, why are you posting something after I asked you multiple times to not post it because I'm with my daughter? Because you letting people know where I'm at. That's kind of like what in the scenario what people believe got Pop Smoke into trouble, even though kind of stories kind of show later with something else, but it still probably has something to do because he posted his address. People knew where he was at, and I think you need to be at the point where you need to be at the point where you can get yourself out of situations. Get yourself out of situations that. Sorry, y'all. We had to brief call into the podcast, but you got to figure out how to get yourself out of situations, or get yourself into situations to where you're not going to put yourself in more harm and danger. Now, all these people and stuff that you're putting yourself into, or you're risking yourself being put into legal troubles again and again. Now, remember, your security guard knocked out another chick. So it's just like, after a while, you're not going to keep getting this benefit of the doubt. You're going to start losing like the fan support. And on top of that, like the last couple of your songs haven't been your best work. So like now the stuff's starting to go from like you're not doing the best, and now you're not portraying yourself in the best light. Because a lot of stuff we gave you was for authenticity and stuff like that. Being a man, take responsibility, but like you gotta check yourself. I think you kind of like at that point where you need some guidance or like an OG around you, because you're not really in the best headspace right now. And I don't know. I just think it's like a lot of dumb shit going around. And now this woman I saw earlier is got a legal representation team, and you got to really just kind of basically, to sum up my spiel on it, you got to start walking around and noticing that people are looking at you like a check. People are looking at you like a check that they're going to come up on, and you need to realize that you're losing money with this shit. So that's what I feel on it. Like I said, get you an OG or somebody that's going to like guide you and keep you out these situations, and have somebody like Chris Carter said, have you a fallback guy, have somebody that's gonna do that for you.
Yeah, it's the same.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying
that.
But
he needs
what's your take
somebody
on
around
it?
him if nobody is, or if he does have somebody, I don't know what. I'm like, there have been too many times where you've been in these instances and it's always everybody else's fault. I don't believe that in my own life. I mean, I'm not a celebrity, don't know any celebrities, but I can't imagine that it's always everybody else's fault. And I was watching an interview with DaBaby on the Breakfast Club, and he spoke about that. He spoke about the issues of trying to navigate the industry with the street life that he led in the past. And it was pretty intriguing. He was just like, there were certain things that he dealt with them a certain way in the street, and he was attempting to deal with them in the industry, but he was finding out that those two don't mix. And he was like, it's crazy because in the industry, somebody from somebody might have done something, quote unquote, street to him, and he wants to react accordingly. But in the industry, you are legally bound to certain things, you know, certain relationships and certain obligations you gotta do, or you could be sued. And he said that's the crazy thing. Like, you could end up working with people that you hate, that, you know, don't have respect for you. You don't have any respect for them. So I think it's a similar thing. Like, I feel like he's still, like, of course, disrespect is definitely always disrespect. But like the little baby was saying, you know, you got to just deal with it a different way now that you're in the industry, and you have to move differently. Like, you have to, like little baby said, he was like, I had to let some stuff go. You know, some stuff had to go unchecked because in the street it wouldn't go unchecked. But since I'm not in the street anymore, I got to let certain things go. Yeah. So I feel like it probably needs to be the same thing.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Like I said, you gotta move a little different, and ain't nothing. I don't know. Like I said, you're gonna start losing the benefit of the doubt. And you gotta make sure that you are putting yourself in the best representation for yourself and your brand and everything you want. Because we've seen from the pandas how quick the rise and fall can go, or anybody one-hit wonder people. And you actually are somebody that I feel like is inspiring rappers and stuff like that. So you just gotta do better, man. Like I said, you got like a good buzz around you. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck up 20, 30 years of success for a 5-second tussle or a 5-second riff-raff. So yeah, so we ain't gonna harp on it too long. So that's all we gotta say about music. I know you was telling me something about some movie about on Netflix that it was about, I guess it's interracial couple.
Oh, the television show. Danielle said it. I don't remember the name of it because I don't watch it. I don't know. It ain't. It's not This Is Us or something like that. It's called. I don't know. Let me get my fact check.
Whatever. Yeah. I don't know why you look it up, but I was just watching something and I was thinking because somebody was talking about interracial couples, and I was looking at somebody asked me this the other day at work, and they were just saying, why do black men go towards opposite race versus you don't see it as much during black women going to white men? And I was wondering, what would you think your input is to the reason why?
Say it again.
Why do black men jump towards white women so much, but you don't see the same with black women with white men?
I mean, I don't know what I feel like the statistics on that is that we still are very much into each other. Like, from statistically, we still are marrying each other more often than not. So I don't know if I totally agree with the whole it's one-sided, and I also feel like I don't really agree with this whole sort of like trying to pit us against our black women. Don't agree with that. I feel like that's kind of a trap. So I won't answer it in that sense of why do I feel like we do stuff more than they do. No, that sounds like a setup to me of some sort of inner fighting that they want us to do, which I'm not going to have no parts of. But I feel like when black women go to white men, it's highly publicized and it's viral versus when we get with white women. Yeah. I feel like, I mean, I would have to actually go snoop and figure out like who notable black men married to white women. Like Luke Cage, like the only, like I would have to go figure it out. Like when I figured out Michael Coulter, I didn't know he was married to a white woman.
You talking about? Ain't that Luke Cage's name?
Yes.
Yeah. So was Omari Hardwick and
Omari
Lawrence from Insecure. He got his old lady pregnant. She white.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't even know that. And I think that's part of the, like, in exactly how I just reacted. Like, oh, okay. I mean, if that's what it is, you know, love is love in that sense. Where if you just vibe with somebody, it is what it is. It's not my preference. It's not my setup at all. Clearly, I'm about to marry a black woman, so you know. But I don't look down on nobody or anything like that. The only thing, I guess, if I was to be in one of those situations, I would need to know that you rode for me and my people. Like, I need you to understand, like, how are you going to use whatever privilege you have to dismantle, you know, this oppressive.
They did some
right.
to a white woman. Sorry.
But like, I feel like I had to go look that stuff up. You know, like, I didn't know that off top, and they ain't. And of course now I know a lot of that stuff because it's come out now, but because of social media, actually, because I feel like that's really highlighted a lot of people's relationships. But I feel like I ain't gotta look nowhere to know if a black chick is married to a white man or running around with a white man. It's plastered everywhere. So and so with her man, and you know, Christina Milian with her man. And this, oh, they're pregnant again, and this, right? Yeah, Cassie, all, you know,
Travis
like all
Kelce,
of them.
Old girl. Yeah, I don't know. So the question just came to me was just like, what was the reason? And I mean, I dated, committed to, married black. So I mean, I can never see myself. I only said the only two races I could see myself marrying or prolonging would have to be maybe Hispanic if it wasn't black, just because it would have to be.
The show is called Love is Blind, by the way.
Okay, so it would have to be they don't sponsor us, so we're not shouting them out. But it would have to be Hispanic or somebody like that, just somebody that goes through like their own sort of judgment and things like that, that does not get any type of privilege or can see it from other perspectives. And I'm not saying that like white people don't see it, because there are black people that are blind. Mixed kids side, especially if you watch All American, you see Jordan and Spencer are raised two different type of ways. That, you know, the privileged side of him, when he got pulled over, almost got his ass killed. Same with Fresh Prince, when Carlton got pulled over and Will knew exactly what to do, but Carlton was talking about his lawyer and they got thrown in for stealing the car, which was theirs. I just think I would have to be with somebody that could get it. I wouldn't have to curtail myself. I wouldn't want to curtail myself to changing up or acting like this part of me doesn't exist so you could feel comfortable. And also at the same time, I would need to.
I don't even think you have to do that. Like, I don't even think you would have to do
I mean, I wouldn't
like
do that. I'm saying I wouldn't do that, but what I'm just saying, just in general, it would be, but it's just like that comfort, or it's just like, it's the same with like if you are with some valley girl, you know what I'm saying, that's a black chick. She grew up with nothing but money or nothing but like privileges, and you don't have to go through hardship, financial aid, paying your mama's rent and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, I just don't get why you do this. Or she's like, why are you still helping your mom? You know what I'm saying? Like that. It would have to be some type of relatability between it. You know what I mean?
I look at it like this. If I go to a party or if I go to an event and I see somebody who look like me, I want to be able. I like the fact that I can give you the black head nod and that you understand everything that meant. And so I feel like in my relationships, it's been just like that. For me personally, as a preference, I would much rather be able to, for lack of better terms, I guess, give you the black head nod and you understand my whole experience, which is most likely the case most of the time. I don't have to explain nothing. All my jokes, you get them because you had a mama, grandma, auntie like mine. I don't have to teach you nothing about nothing because you heard it. I ain't got to do none of that because you already know. And I feel like that's the best way I can explain my preference, is that you see exactly what I see. And now, of course, there are degrees inside of that. But
of course,
you
like
see
live black, there's poverty, there's people that are on food stamps or Section 8 or things that I never experienced. You know what I mean? But I've been around that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm sitting there saying I done lived the Marcy Projects, Third World life,
lavishly.
Exactly, and I'm not saying I also out here live with bowling alleys in my crib and all that type stuff. So I'm just saying, but I mean, it's still a relatability.
Like
I'm
Boosie
still very
children.
much- exactly, like I'm still very much my culture. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Dwayne. I'm not gonna bring him up. Well, celebrity's kid. You know, like LeBron James kids are never gonna know what LeBron James had to go through, not knowing his father and constantly being in places. They only know the criticism of being. They know the criticisms of being scalded because your dad is the best player, but they don't know the criticisms of being black in the inner city, not knowing where your next meal is and things like that. So if Bronny was to get with a round the way girl, they would have two different type of lifestyles. Something he would never really understand. He would have idea because I think LeBron,
Which I doubt he will find one of those.
Of course, yeah. I don't even think LeBron and them would allow that, but I personally think that. So this is why it came to me. This is why I said you see, because you know black women don't like it, and I think that the reason why it annoys black women when they see some black women when they see black men with white women is because I don't think I don't think black women are genuinely attracted to white men.
Oh, it's a hot take.
Hot take. I personally don't think that's why it's like rare when you see it. Like the Queen of Slim Chick, she was a white dude. Now, I just don't think they're genuinely attracted to white men. I think that's what makes them mad. I think black men are wild and out and will go sleep or screw with anything. And I think that's the difference in attraction.
I think that's men. Men don't. I don't want to wear that.
Well, my fault. I think all men are like that. All men will stick and screw anything. But I think when you have a black woman, shout out to International Women's Day and Black Queens out there, or you have somebody of ethnic background and stuff like that, they're not going to be with anybody that just looks at them as like a black prize or anything like that. They're not trying to be with somebody who just want to pat their weaves or ask some stupid ass questions. So
why you think they end up with them then?
I'm about to say they're damn sure not about to be with somebody that's gonna demean them for what they have to go through. Because I think black women go through the worst. I think if black men have to work 10 times harder to get if black men have to work twice as hard to get half the required, I think black women have to work even harder. And I think somebody just said to me, black women don't care who black men date. It's more so that black men who date outside their race bash black women. And that's why I was going to bring it back to black women. I think their issue is when black men go outside their race, they kind of just forget where they came from. And the reason why I said that is when you do see the ones that get with it, like you have Cassie that dated a white man. That white man probably treats her like a queen. So that's probably what it is. They're going to be appreciated when they finally do make that leap. But they ain't just about to begin with any type of bird. It has to be what that person is internally. Other braces just hit whatever got ass and titties. And I think their issue is like when black men go outside their race, they down. And I think the reason why you see a lot of, I'm going on black men specifically. I don't know, I can't speak on white men because I'm not white. Can't speak on Hispanic because I'm not. But I think that there's a level of expectations and accountability that black women hold you to and deserve to hold you to. And I think that there are goals that they want to make sure that you hit, and there are requirements that they feel that you need to be required, because not only are you going to be the provider of the house, you're going to be an example for your kid. And that could come off to a lot of men as nagging, bitchy, and just like whining. And I think a lot of men run to other races of lighter persuasion because a lot of black men I've seen want a mother. They don't want a companion. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you just hear black men do what's that one line they say? Ain't no teacher tell you wasn't gonna be shit. She told you she asked you to read in front of the class and you got embarrassed. And I think that's what it is. They want to act like they want to make the mistakes, but they don't want to be held accountable for it. They want pats on the head like their mothers do. And I think a lot of times it's easier to go with somebody of a different race that you can I would say that's more docile and somebody that is just gonna hype you up and just see you for what you are and take the blame of when you don't have shortcomings, or that's gonna pick up for you, i.e. a mother, i.e. somebody that's always gonna come catch you. And I think that's the issue of why black men bash and run away from our queens, is because they are being held to an expectation and they look at that as not being supportive. And it's not really being supportive. It's that somebody's wanting you to be a man. And are you looking for a teammate, or are you looking for a mother? Now, we can support you. I can support you and I can criticize you, but are you looking at that criticizing and bashing and not supporting and stumping on your dreams? And you want somebody that's just going to take blame for when you fuck up, like, you ain't never did it. You right, Darnell. I should have let you cheat on me and use my car and steal and smoke all in my house and piss all in my baby's bed and eat up all his gushers. You know what I'm saying? I'm wrong for that because I didn't plan for that. No. You know what I'm saying? Get your ass up. You said you was going to do something with your life. Stop fucking complaining. Stop fucking whining. Go out there and make the best of you are. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know what a hype man is. Banks, me and you is best friends because you'll call me on my shit. You know what I'm saying? And not only will you call me on my shit when I'm doing good, you'll hype me up. And you can't just get the good and not expect the bad to come from it. And you're not used to a teammate that is rooting for you to pull it. Because if you ever did a two-man race, if that motherfucker's not carrying their weight, you dragging other people around. And I think it's just a level of support that they're being confused with, is being, I think in criticism, that they're being confused with is doubt and hate. And so you run to somebody with lesser standards that's going to take the blame and will be the victim that you want. You want somebody that's going to lash out at you instead of making you be responsible. And I think that's what you get from outside racists. That's just my opinion on it. And when black women finally make that transition to something else, they were definitely waiting for a white man, for a black man, but somebody of a different race decided to treat them and take them away from this burden of, instead of being somebody's doorstep, the white men that I do see with black women treat them, they put themselves a step below. You know what I'm saying? And at a time where you're being looked over, it's great to be on a pedestal. So if this black man wasted what you had to give as being a queen that you are, and he didn't want to see that because he wanted to sit at the throne by himself, then you go to somebody that's going to hype you up on your own pedestal and you live out the best way you want to be. Just make sure you let your offspring know that they ought to be treated like such and such. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I agree with all that. That's pretty much my point.
Yeah, what he said. Yeah, you know.
Pretty
So
much.
yeah, man. So I don't know. I wanted to say that because I think black women don't get the credit they want, and I'm a black man, and I'm married to a black woman. So I'm obviously. And my son is black, so I'm obviously cheering for the black man. I ain't like, you know, cooning or Ben Carson or anything like that. You're about to marry a black woman. One of my favorite people, one of my heroes. You know, when people push me, are my parents. Black man, black woman, married to each other. Not married now, but just in general. So I'm not into the business of excuses, and I'm not into the business of excuses and finger blaming. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me a DaBaby apology after you keep fucking up. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you go hold your shit and you go do what you said that you was gonna do. Because every nigga want to use a reason to hold a grudge as a way to get into himself without technically healing. Like, every man can go out there and pay the bills because that's what you told to do. Grind, make money. But are you learning how to communicate as a man? Are you learning how to talk to people without being disrespectful? Are you learning how to you know, something simple as finances that I don't have to worry about putting money under a bed? Are you worried about learning how to raise kids? Are you learning how to open up bank accounts? Are you doing all this? And when somebody's showing you, is that nigga hate on you? Is that somebody trying to point you in the right direction? And are you taking that as positive? People only think that black men only think that being a man is being in your kid's life and bringing money to the household, but there's other ways to be that, because you're supposed to be a king. You're not supposed to be just another point. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the black woman does for your experience. You know, for every great man, every great black man, there's an amazing black woman next to him, And when you down and out, you're gonna need some that push that you give should let you know if something goes wrong, or if you get something that you have to, take a hit or something like that or whatever. She's letting you know that she's strong enough. Like, she's not a backseat driver. She's gonna let you shine, but it's letting you know if something comes up, she's gonna ride for you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she's able to step in that driver's seat, and ain't nothing gonna change. So when you lose that type of NOx or nitros in your car, you feel what I'm saying? You're gonna lose speeds. And when you go down from a lesser vehicle, or you go down to a lesser model, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get the same expectations. When you fall, you're all stopping.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need that. You know what I'm saying? You need 4 wheels on the tire to make yourself really go through. So why am I going from 4 wheels on a car to 2 wheels on a bike?
Yeah.
I'm going from an engine to a chain. I'm going from an engine to a chain with a can in the back of the seat trying to make the motorcycle sound. Man, stop limiting yourselves and stuff like that. That's just, how I feel. And that's my spiel, Looney. I ain't got nothing else to say. You want to finish anything on this one?
No, you pretty much said everything.
You know what I'm saying? Just want to champion for the queens.
Mm-hmm.
I got nieces and stuff like that. I got everybody that they don't get the same nod, so I want to make sure they get it. But
I will end off with this, right, about your whole thing about black fathers. I did find out something that was very interesting and almost disheartening. So I'm talking to these girls, some of my students, one black, one white, one mixed, white and Hispanic. And I was talking to them about, like when they go to their dads, because I think all of them divorced. And so I was like, why don't you do this? And they all were just like, especially the black girl. Like, I talked to her more, so I know a little more about her. But they was just like, I just stay in my room. I said, you stay in your room all weekend? And they were like, yeah, like he don't ever want to do nothing with us. And that's all of them saying this, right? And I said, say, and so, sometimes kids can be like, well, they call not want to do anything. Basically, if you don't want to do what they want to do, then it's not doing anything. Yeah. And so I was like, so you telling me if he wanted to take y'all to the park? I tried to come in kind of like, quote unquote lame. I tried to come in like with a lame activity. Like, if that's not typically something kids want to still do.
Oh, I got you. If you come in with something whack.
So I was like,
and then they be like, yeah, we don't want to do that though. So he's trying to do something, but y'all.
Exactly. So I said, so y'all want to go to the park? And they all looked at each other, was like, yes. And I was like, you would just be okay if you went to the park and you just sat and people watched. They were like, yes, anything to get out of the house. And I was like, dang, that's crazy. I was like, y'all don't do nothing? And they all were just like, no, we are in our rooms. He don't bother us. When we try to want to go somewhere, he always got an excuse, or he can't make it happen. That's why when we want to do stuff, we do it with our moms. And I just looked at them. I said, that's crazy. Like, the fact that there's people out there that made children or made a child and just leave them in the room. I was just like, we will be everywhere, at somebody's park or something like that. And especially for the black girl, right? Like, so her situation, her dad, he from what she tells me, he's a sorry guy. And we've had conversations about like what that looks like and stuff like that. I mean, it's come out of her mouth. Like she was like, he's sorry. And, what she say, he's inconsiderate, he's selfish. This is a 13-year-old, able to tell you like these qualities are lame. And these are qualities that a grown man should not have. But, I was just like, even if you say so, I was like, okay, y'all really want to go to the movies? They were like, yes. I was like, but do y'all even have the same like interests? And all of them looked at each other. And they were like, we don't know. I said, y'all don't know what y'all dad's like, or you don't think he know what y'all like? And they all kind of went from like, I don't know, to no, we don't have the same interests. We don't. And that just blew my mind that you could have a kid that's yours it's funny, like the stepdads are doing more for these girls than their biological dad. And I looked at them. It kind of went over their head. One of them caught it, right? So I said this, and it went over a couple of their heads. But I said, so this is why y'all have such toxic relationship with little boys. Because y'all want daddy love, and it's not there.
Yeah, exactly.
But so y'all take it out on these boys out here at school, and y'all act however y'all act with them because y'all want daddy love. And one of them was like, yeah. The other two didn't really say nothing. But I just think it's wild that you got a creation that you don't even like cultivate, or you don't have no like real relationship with. They just come over on Saturday or on Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday or Tuesday, however your week is set up, and they go to their room. And what the black girl told me today, she was like, I don't even have a room in my daddy's house. I said, what you mean? I stay in my grandma's room. I was like, oh.
It's just like that movie Dance Flick when he was like, I'm here to pick up my son. And then he pick him up and put him right down. I'll be back next week to pick him up again. Yeah, he's such a good father.
So men in general, but definitely especially black men, I think you should, if these are your tendencies, you should be shamed. And if anybody's listening out there who has a daughter, especially a black girl, you really need to be paying attention to them. Like, I know family dynamics are nuanced and everything like that, but you definitely need to be invested in your little girl, because that's just a setup. I mean, even we all know, even as older black men, we all have ran into or are currently dealing with a woman with daddy issues. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like every girl that I've ever dealt with, let me do that, has had daddy issues. Either he wasn't there in the beginning, he's inconsistent, he mismanages his money, he mismanages his time.
Treat you like
right.
Shit,
he chose you over. I'm sorry. He chose things over you, or chose people over you. Didn't make you a priority. So, I wanna.
And this is a. Go ahead.
I just want to say, like, if you're a man out there, number one, and you have a little girl, you owe her just as much, if not more, than your little boy. And of course, specifically the black men, you definitely owe your daughters everything, because I feel like it damages them and it makes them harder to deal with for other men. But I feel like that's a trip.
Yeah, so black queens start off as black princesses, so make sure you treat them. And also, this is for the dudes that have been out there. The easiest girls for y'all maybe to pick up on and get with or sleep with or whatever are usually the ones with daddy issues. So that should let you know that somebody is going to do your daughter the same way. So why put her in a situation where she don't know how to spot bullshit? Because at some point you run bullshit on them. So don't have your little girl out here crutch and stuff like that. Think about how you got with people. And think about the ones that you knew that you could play on some type of insecurity from a parent. And think of ones that made you work for, that made you do them, and model your child for somebody that made you push yourself to do something. And don't just sit there and repeat that, because you're going to repeat that to a kid, and pretty soon your daughter is going to be that same easy path that you had. So that's what, that's why it's my license spill I want to say on that.
Yeah.
So we good. So y'all, this been another good episode. I'm glad to be back with my ace, Boom Coleman. I'm glad to be back with y'all. 30 for 30 lifestyle. He coming next. Also want to thank again Bamboo Rum for sponsoring the podcast. Make sure y'all get y'all some today. I know y'all see me on the video take at least 2 or 3 shots of this stuff, so definitely makes the interview processing a lot smoother. But other than that, y'all, we had a great time interviewing with y'all. We gonna see y'all. I'm sorry, we had a great time. Now Bumble hit me, right? But we had a great time with y'all, man. We look forward to making another episode real soon with y'all. And as usual, this has been another great episode of the 8 Morning 92 podcast where we always keep it 100. So we'll see y'all next time, y'all. Peace.
Shit. Shit.